Shopping for my grocery store, a simple day with big meaning, running a small grocery store, or Warum Sembaco as we call it in Indonesia, is not just a business. It is a way of life. It is early mornings, endless lists, careful budgeting, and a deep understanding of what your community needs every day. I've been running my little Warum for about 3 years now, and although it is a humble business, it is something I take great pride in. Every week, I make a routine trip to the wholesale market to restock essentials, rice, cooking oil, sugar, instant noodles, eggs, detergent, and other daily household items. It might sound like a simple chore, but it is actually one of the most important parts of keeping the Warum running smoothly. Without stock, there is no business. Without good quality and fair prices, there is no trust from customers. Let me take you through one such shopping day, a long, tiring, but satisfying trip that reminds me why I do this in the first place. The morning hustle, my day started early, as usual. Villa 5 a.m. I was already awake. The sun and even isn't yet, but I was already brewing a pot of strong black coffee and reviewing my notes from the previous week, what items had sold out quickly, what had barely moved, and what needed to be replaced. I carefully checked my inventory book, jotting down quantities and prices. Villa 6 a.m. I had already boarded the uncut public minivan heading to the central market. My shopping bag calculated and notes were all tucked securely in my sling bag. I also brought my trusty trolley, a little rusty, but still strong enough to carry the heavy bags I would be lugging back. The ride to the market was bumpy, but familiar repairs by sleepy neighborhoods, some people already sweeping their porches or opening their shops. As we got closer to the market, the streets grew livelier, more people, more noise, more activity. The smell of fried snacks from street vendors began to fill the air. It was going to be a long day, but I was ready. The chaos of the wholesale market. Stepping into the wholesale market is like diving into a small, chaotic world of its own. Vendors shout out their prices. Trolleys roll back and forth. Motorbikes squeeze through narrow alleys packed with buyers and sellers. The aisles filled with the scent of rice, eggs, fresh produce, spices, and plastic packaging. It is noisy, hectic, and crowded, but it is also strangely energizing. I had my regular suppliers, people I built trust with over time. First, stop, the rice seller. I usually buy 2 types of medium quality rice that most of my customers prefer because it is affordable, and a small quantity of premium rice for the few who are willing to pay extra for quality. Prices had gone up slightly, but I was able to negotiate a small discount since I am a regular. Next was cooking oil. With all the price fluctuations lately, I had to be extra careful. Some brands were cheaper but less popular. I decided to stick with the reliable brand everyone knows, even though it cost a bit more. People trust it, and the trust is worth more than saving a few rupiah. Sugar, salt, flour, and instant noodles were next. He picked up several cartons of Indomie, various flavors, fried noodle, chicken broth, and spicy sambal. These always sell fast, especially at the end of the month when people's wallets are tight. He also stacked up an eggs. Buying several trays, the tino I had to carry with extra care and a volume. Then came the non-food items, bar soap, laundry detergent, toothpaste, and dishwashing liquid. These items take up space, but they bring good profit margins. I also bought some small sachets of shampoo and instant coffee popular among customers who prefer to buy in small quantities. Budgeting and decision making as I made my way through the different stalls, I had to constantly think about my budget. I didn't have unlimited capital, and I needed to stretch every rupiah to make sure I had a good balance of fast-moving goods and high-demand essentials. I did quick mental math, checked my notes, and occasionally pulled out my calculator to compare prices. Every decision method. If I overstacked on something that wouldn't sell quickly, I risked wasting valuable shelf space. If I skipped a high-demand item like cooking oil or sugar, I might lose customers to the Warum next door. It was a constant juggling act between logic, instinct, and experience. Packing, carrying, and heading home, Villas 10:30 am, I had completed my shopping. My trolley was loaded to the brim. I wrapped the eggs in a blanket to prevent them from cracking. The heaviest items, rice, oil, and flour were stacked at the bottom. I tied the bags tightly with rope, double-checking everything before making my way out of the market. Dragging the trolley through the narrow, crowded lanes was no small feat. I had to stop several times, let others pass, and maneuver on potholes and vendors sitting on the sidewalk. But despite the physical strain, there was something satisfying about it. Each sack, each carton represented a part of my business, a part of the life I built through hard work. I finally reached the main road and waited for a pickup truck. I had aimed to transport everything back to the Warum. as we loaded the goods, it chatted with the driver. WHO was also a small business owner. We talked about rising prices, customer habits, and the latest gossip from the market. It felt good to connect with someone who understood the daily grind. Bakit si Warren, restocking and re-engine bakit si Warren, y began the process of unloading and organizing the stock. He checked everything, again counted the noodle packets. Wiped down the rice sacks, stacked the soap neatly, and filled the shelves. It was already hot and it was drenched in sweat, but he didn't mind. He was proud of the clean shelves, the colorful stacks of goods, and the way everything was ready for tomorrow's customers. He updated my inventory book, noted the days spending, and calculated how much he need to earn to make a profit in the coming week. Running a Warum isn't just about selling, it is about smart planning, discipline, and keeping your promises to your customers. They expect quality, fair prices, and friendly service. You intend to give them all three. Reflection, more than just a business, as he sat down with a glass of cold tea. Looking at my stacked Warum, he felt tired, but also satisfied. This wasn't just a business. It was my way of supporting my family, saving my neighborhood, and building something with my own two hands. People often underestimate small business owners. They think it is simple, easy, or not very impressive. But the truth is, it takes strength, intelligence, patience, and passion to keep a small Warum alive in today's competitive world. Every trip to the market is a reminder of why I started this journey in the first place, not just to earn money, but to create something meaningful. Final thought, it is not about how big your shop is. It is about how big your heart is for the work you do. And with the basic of rice, a bar of soap, and a friendly smile to a customer, y en building more than a business, y en building trust, community, and a better future. Kalau kamu ingin bersih, yang lebih fokus ke aspek bisnis, pelanggan. Atau cerita dengan sedikit dialog, saya bisa bantu juga. Mau saya lanjutkan atau fokusnya, anda bilang, lebih banyak chat GPT bilang. Tentu, berikuta dalam lanjutan cerita panghandan lengkap dalam bahasa Inggris tentang pengalaman belanja untuk kebutuhan Warum Sembaco, kali ini dengan lebih banyak detail, termasuk suasana pasar. Interaksi dengan penjual, perasaan pribadi, dan refleksi, mendalam. A day in the life of a grocery store owner continued, even on its stall, the real work begins, visit time had everything neatly arranged on the shelves. It was already early afternoon. I barely had time to rest before the first customer of the day walked in, a middle-aged woman from the neighborhood who always buys the same items every 3 days, 1 kilogram of rice, 2 packets of instant noodles, and a sachet of shampoo. You very stacked, her she asked with a smile, glancing at the freshly arranged shelves. Yes, just came back from the market this morning, he replied, handing her a small plastic bag. You always keep things organized, she added. I like buying from you. You make it easy for us. Her words, though simple, meant a lot. The thing about running a small Warum it is personal. You're not just selling products. You're rebuilding relationships.